Okay, so let's continue and see how we can add the particles in this video. So I have my tube over here, so I pretty much went to Dynamics, and under Dynamics I'll go under Particles, Create Emitter, and I selected the directional emitter, and I'll simply say Create. You can see the directional emitter comes over here. I'll click on W and move it up over here and maybe inside over there, and we'll also watch it right over here. I'll do Control A to open the attribute editor for the directional emitter. So it's got two nodes, the emitter node and the particle shape node. So if I go to Window, Outliner, that's the emitter and the particle node right there. So with the emitter node, it's asking me for a whole bunch of things. So firstly, the rate of particles. So I'll take the particle rate down in this case. And right now if I just hit play, you'll see that there's a streak of particles coming out in the X direction. If I go over here, I have some other attributes. Spread is one of them, which I really want to use. And always when you're doing particles, a few important things, you do not want to, right now very few frames, so first let's change that. So let's go to my time slider and range slider. Let's have at least 500 frames. Let's go to the animation preferences over here and make sure we are not playing at anything but play every frame. So that's another thing. You do not want to be on anything else. So play every frame is where I'm on. And right now I'm just gonna go to the first frame and play. Never try to scrub, always go to the first frame and hit play. So you can see the particles are coming out in this view. Great. So that is the first thing. So the next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna basically make the shape of my red blood cells. So if you saw in my earlier video, the red blood cells didn't look like this. So what I did was I used an external geometry. So in that case, what I did was I went to sub-D primitives, I made a simple cylinder. Let's take the size of the cylinder down, and I simply gave the cylinder, let's hit 3 to nicely scale it down. Also 3 to smooth it, and let's nicely scale this guy down. I also gave it right click, assign new material. I gave it a nice new material. Let's say a Phong. I did a blend in that case, and let's give it a red color. There we go. So with that, what I'm gonna do is actually let's take it down further. So let's take it down even more, so that thing is really small over there. So if I just go close to it, there you go, it's really, really small. And even right here, if I go close to it, you can barely see it, but there it is. So what I'm gonna do is, with the sub-D primitive selected, I'm gonna shift select the particles, and then I'm gonna go under particles, instancer, and immediately you can see that all my particles are that cylinder right there, the sub-D primitive. And let's play this view, since I'm just playing the active view right now, so you can see all of them are coming out. There we go, beautiful. So the next thing we want to do is, although it looks like they're all coming out and inside the tube, some of them might be going outside. Now you can add some fields to your particles if you want to. So I can select my particles again. So in this case, let's go under Outliner, and let's select the particles right here. Make sure that they're selected. And let's also go and apply some turbulence. And I could have done this earlier. And let's see if it works. Once you apply the turbulence, I'm going to go right under the turbulence settings, and magnitude is something that I'm going to increase. Let's go to the first frame again and hit play. And you can see immediately the particles are going crazy and they're not really following the path. So let's take the magnitude back to 5, and you can see that they're falling. But you can see that they're all going outside the cylinder. So in this case, what I want to do is I want to select the particles again. Which are these guys right here. And then I want to shift select this one, the tube, and say particles make collide. Once I do that, you'll see the particles are colliding with the walls right there. And if you want, you can take the magnitude of the turbulence down. So it's just a matter of playing with the settings from now on. So if you don't like the turbulence, that's fine too. We can, and the turbulence has got its own icon. You can also get rid of the turbulence if you want to by going to Window, Relationship Editors, Dynamic Relationships, and with this particle selected, you can see that turbulence field is affecting it. I can disconnect it. And right now if I rewind, go to this frame and play, there you go. So there's our red blood cells. So that's how I did the red blood cells in my example.